In man's quest for speed, this is the summit. Today, Emerson Fittipaldi is testing, experimenting with a new tool he hopes will carry him faster than ever before. Prior to his tests, he joined us at the Speedway Museum for a look back.
When I see every one of these cars and I think how much sweat, effort, and work has been passed on every one of these cars to achieve the success they achieved. And every time I walk in here, I get very emotional. Just looking at the cars and thinking, you know, the history of Indianapolis. I mean, I'm looking like Jim Clark's car here from Lotus. And that has a lot of meaning for me, because that's one of the reasons I got really interested in driving Indianapolis. And that was the first time I talked to a team manager, to a team owner, who had been in Indianapolis and had won Indianapolis. And then I could see that I have been many times talking with Colin Chapman. One day, I hope I can go to Indianapolis. We go together with Lotus. It didn't happen with Lotus, but I'm here now with Penske. I mean, the oval track is a completely new game. I mean, it's a new technique, it's a new style of driving. You have to be really super smooth. You have to dial the car a completely different way because it's just turning to the left all the time. The speeds are much higher than Formula One. So a driver who likes the technical parts, who understands the technical functions of the car, can communicate better to the team manager, can communicate better to the mechanics. Myself, I always loved the technical part of racing. And with the help of the computer now, the electronics helping racing, it's like another step ahead. Incredible, like the test I'm doing in Indianapolis now. We are measuring suspension traveling, the G-force, the performance of the engine. Every feet I'm running the track, we know the speed I am, you know, turning to turn 2, at the apex of turn 2, coming out. I mean, everything's measured, and we can read after the run. I can read one lap from Ricky Mears around the track, his best qualifying lap, and I can put my best qualifying lap next to his, and I can see where I was losing time. You know, always the driver would say, well, it's easy, flat through that corner, to the designer and to the team manager. And now the team manager goes back and says, well, I don't think you're flat.
Now, let's take a ride around the famed Brickyard. Flat out in the Eagle Talon. To go fast here, what is the hardest thing a driver must do?
I think this is the one, into the corner. Is the place that you have to be together in the car the whole time. Everything that the car starts feeling, you have to feel immediately. A beautiful handling car. We're going to turn 120 miles per hour. And approaching this corner, the transition to the corner has to be so smooth, then the car will take it, and you have to use the whole track. Here will be about 230, 232, and into the corner, mid-corner, 218, 219. When the car is pushing, you have to come down on the line here. You go below the white line. If the car is loose, you have to be over the white line. It looks 4 corners exactly the same, but you can see the wind direction showing us how strong is the wind, what direction is the wind. Then you have to decide how you are going to take it. When the car is well trimmed, my Marlboro Penske I take flat all around. I mean, flat out, metal to metal. And coming back to the pit, there's another new technique I had to learn in Indianapolis, but this is still racing. And you come out of turn 4 and you have to come in here and start judging where you have to stop, where is your crew waiting for you. And it's so critical, coming from 230 miles per hour to stop right there. I mean, ready for the crew.
How much has man improved his tools? The lap you've just completed at the Speedway, with camera crew and all aboard, averaged 116 miles per hour. Fast enough to qualify for the 1947 Indy 500.
Well, I think it must be a new record for that category in Indianapolis, 160.
Next, the showdown. man against man.
It's one of the most technologically advanced, most rigorously tested fluids on Earth, relentlessly measured for maximum protection against the friction, the wear and tear, the heat and stress of today's engines. It is today's Quaker State. In Europe, in Japan, in America, Quaker State quality has passed the most demanding tests automakers can throw at it. At Quaker State, we don't just say we're tough, we're tested tough. The big Q is one tough motor oil.
If you shower with soap, this is what you're missing.
Zestfully clean. Zestfully clean.
Soap leaves a sticky film behind, but Zest rinses clean away.
Wonderfully clean, unless you're zestfully clean.
This is Bob Jenkins, host of ESPN Speed Week. We've moved to a new day and time. Catch us now on Thursday nights at 7:30 Eastern for the motorsports coverage you deserve. That's Speed Week at 7:30 Eastern on Thursday nights.
Dale Earnhardt must conquer the track that's too tough to tame to become the first three-time consecutive champion of the Heinz Southern 500. Watch the excitement from Darlington, and you could win a new car. Sunday on ESPN.
This ESPN program is brought to you by Quaker State. The Big Q is one tough motor oil.
Today's IndyCar is a near-perfect tool, a beautiful tool, yet it's only a tool. The contest of speed, held once each year at Indianapolis, is a showdown among men, man against man. The 1989 Indy 500, the final laps. Two of the finest craftsmen, Emerson Fittipaldi and Al Unser Jr., confront each other. The tools are forgotten.
I mean, this is one of the races that I have been leading most of the time. I was winning most of the time. The end of the race, after the last yellow, our junior restarted the race right behind me and he passed me. And to myself, I feel this cannot be right. I mean, something's wrong. I have to win this race. I mean, this is like I had a very strong willpower to compete the last two laps, like our junior had as well. And it was an incredible feeling. I remember going out of turn 2. He had some back markers that slowed him down a little bit. And I got a shot on him. I was quicker coming out of turn 2. I drafted him. I slipstreaming on the inside line. And I went side by side with our junior, and he went down on the straight to see if that way I would not have a proper line into turn 3. And on the back of my mind, I knew that that corner was going to be the key for the race. See, if I'm able to come out of the corner leading the race, I'm going to win the race. And I'm sure Junior was thinking the same. I think it was the most emotional moment I had in my racing career. I mean, I never had a situation like that. We went side by side, turn 3, we were going 230 miles per hour. I was on the inside line and said, I'm not going to back off. And I knew he was not going to back off. My car was very light on aerodynamic, and we just touched. And when we touched, I was very lucky. I was able to control the car. I had like oversteering. The back end went out, and I was just able to control. I come out of the corner. I saw the yellow went on, and I knew our junior spun. Then it was a big mixture of feelings. First, I didn't know if he got hurt, if he crashed bad. I was like, oh, this should not happen. I mean, I was happy to be leading the race, winning. And then it was a great release. I called on the radio. I said, you know how our junior is? They said, well, he's out of the car. He's okay. And then I was really like a big explosion of happiness on myself inside the cockpit. I mean, it was my best win I had in my racing career.